What's up? It is Friday the 13th. How's everyone doing tonight? So we are here. Games are tomorrow. First game, San Fran, Seattle. Division rivals. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Geno Smith is going to play good. Brock Purdy, man. His first big game. How's he going to do? You know, that's the question. Is he going to make those mistakes, those rookie mistakes? Seattle could capitalize off of them. We'll see. We'll definitely see. I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. San Fran has a great team, man. Debo, McCaffrey, George, their fullback. They have a good team. Seattle got a young team, so I think it's going to be a lot closer than people than what the line says. I think the line's like 9.5. I think that's a good line. That's a good line. Probably be like a touchdown game. The second game, Chargers, Jacksonville. That's a flip of a coin, man. I know Williams is out for the Chargers. I think Herbert is going to have a big game. Palmer, the wide receiver for the Chargers, I think he's going to have a big game. He's a sleeper wide receiver. Definitely check on him, on Palmer tomorrow. And Keenan Allen. I think Mack is going to have a big game. I forget he's on their team, but I think he's going to have a good game on defense. They have some studs on the Chargers, man. I mean, both teams got some studs, but I think Chargers pull it out. I think it's like a field goal or less game. I mean, Jacksonville didn't look great against Tennessee. I mean, they got lucky on that defensive strip and the touchdown. I think they lose that game. I think Tennessee was playing them good. The line says it all, man. They're home, and then the Chargers are a slight favorite. I would lean more towards the Chargers tomorrow. Baltimore, I talked about yesterday. Their defense needs to come to play. Run the ball. Low-scoring game. Keep the ball out of Burrow's hands. And, Harbaugh needs to make, good decisions, man. Take the points when you could get them. No interceptions. It's gonna be a close game, man. Me and my son will be watching it. Hopefully they win. I mean, it's a long shot, but you never know. Dolphins, Buffalo, and the Dolphins. I think Buffalo wins that game. Might be close for a little while, but I think Buffalo pulls it out. I wonder if Bridgewater's playing. I mean, if Bridgewater plays, they have a chance, but I wonder if Hamlin's going to be there watching the game. That's a lot of pressure on Buffalo if Hamlin shows up, man. A lot of pressure. I mean, it could go either way with the Hamlin situation. That's a lot for the team to see that and deal with that, So, people handle things like that different. Everybody's not the same, Everyone automatically thinks that Buffalo's going to win, but, that was, traumatic what happened. So, it could have the opposite effect, on the team, on certain players. Luckily they had those kickoff returns, or I think the Patriots might have beat them last week. So we'll see, man. Minnesota, the Giants. I think Minnesota kicks their butt, man. I've been listening to New York radio stations, and they're all on the Giants. I think Minnesota comes to play. They stop Barkley, they're going to win the game easy, I think. Daniel Jones, he's going to have to run the ball. If they want a chance, man, he's going to have to make some plays with his feet. He's good with his legs. So I think Jefferson has a big game. The tight end from Detroit, they got. I think he's going to have a big game. Dalvin Cook, if he's in, he's going to break out for one. Yeah, I like Minnesota in that. And who else we got? Oh, Dallas and Tampa. I think Dallas should definitely win that game, man. I know it's Tom Brady, but man, Dallas can't lose round one against Tampa. And that's it. I mean, Dallas could blow them out, and I wouldn't be surprised. I won't be surprised if it's a close game and Brady wins at the end. So who knows, man? Who knows? And all the calls too. You can't. These games are so hard to pick. Especially with the pass interference and the unnecessary roughness on the quarterback. Man, you just can't pick. The referee is a important factor in a game, especially if you're going to be betting on the game. You can't account for what the referee is going to call. It's very tough, and I believe referees should speak after games. I think they should be questioned. I don't think we put enough on the referees after the game, and I don't know why the NFL hasn't done that, but I would definitely like to see referees be questioned after the game. They need to be held accountable for their calls sometimes. And after the game, they're just like gone, and no one even. You never see a referee on TV talking about calls. Why is that? Why aren't referees questioned? After every game, the referees, there should be like a 10-minute, right before the players talk, or even after the players talk, the referee should talk. I wonder if there's a website you could go to with all the referees and the amount of calls they have. That's something I thought of a lot, to create a website where you can have all the referees and all their calls and what type of calls. That would definitely help. That's why a lot of people think the games are fixed. I don't think the games are fixed, but some of these calls are ridiculous, and it leaves that room for people to come up with their conspiracy theories. So what are you going to do? But I would definitely like to see referees be talked to after the game. So again, Seattle division game close. I mean, just think of the Ravens and Bengals last week with their third string quarterback. The Ravens had 4 interceptions. They lost by 17. I mean, they didn't have a bunch of their defensive players playing, so I think that game's close. I mean, the Ravens have to score first, and they can't make mistakes, man. They can't go down 10 or 14 to nothing and start the game. They just can't. They need to jump on the Bengals. Sort of like Cleveland did against Pittsburgh that year. Cleveland scored all these points. I remember watching that game. It was unbelievable. That's the type of game that Baltimore needs. Where there's an interception for a touchdown, there's a fumble for a touchdown, a blocked punt. All that type of stuff needs to happen. So, but you got. So let's say the rate, if Cincy wins, say Buffalo wins, You got Kansas City. And then you have, say the Chargers win. So the Chargers would be the next lower seed. So they would play Kansas City, division rivals. That would be a good game. And then you would have the Buffalo-Cincinnati at a neutral field. That's what a lot of people want to see. So the Ravens have an uphill battle, man, to pull this out. It'd be nice to see Seattle win with Geno Smith. So if Seattle wins, they're the lowest seed. And say Minnesota wins, so Seattle would play Philly. If Seattle could beat San Fran. And say Dallas wins. It would be Dallas versus Minnesota. That'd be a good game. Dallas, Minnesota. If the Giants win and Seattle wins, you would have Seattle going to Philly. And say Dallas wins, you would have the Giants in Dallas. Oh. If Tampa wins and Seattle wins, and Minnesota wins, you have Minnesota, Tampa, Philly, Seattle. So you have Philly, Seattle, Philly wins, and you have Minnesota, Tampa. I like Minnesota versus Philly, the NFC Championship. That's a good matchup. Minnesota versus Philly in the NFC. Let's do hypothetical AFC. People want to see Kansas City versus Buffalo. But let's make this fun. Let's say Baltimore wins, Chargers win. You're gonna have Baltimore versus Kansas City, and say Buffalo wins, and Buffalo versus the Chargers. That's a good game. Buffalo, Chargers, Baltimore, Kansas City, and Lamar comes back. Let's say Kansas City beats Baltimore, and you got Buffalo, Chargers. I mean, those are two tough things. I mean, Kansas City knows the Chargers. So you got Philly versus Minnesota, NFC, and you got Kansas City. And Buffalo. Would you want to see a Buffalo Minnesota Super Bowl? That was a great game. You don't want to see games that were already played during the year. You want to see two teams that haven't played each other. So you would see a Buffalo Philly. Buffalo Philly would be a good matchup. Kansas City Philly. Andy Reid playing his old team. That's a good story. You need storylines. It's entertainment. Definitely need a good storyline. Kansas City Philly would be a great storyline with Andy Reid. What else would be a good storyline? Minnesota, Buffalo. I mean, the Hamlin thing for Buffalo is a good story. Can Buffalo pull it out, man? Buffalo, Philly, Buffalo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Dallas. Buffalo, Dallas might be a good Super Bowl. Kansas City, Dallas. My cats are going Baltimore. If we had Lamar, man, Baltimore, Philly would be a great matchup. Baltimore, Philly. Ugh. I know Huntley was practicing today, so I think he's definitely playing. Oh, man. Tampa. Who wants to see Tom Brady in the Super Bowl again? I mean, I'm a LeBron fan. I want to see him. It's probably the same thing. Who wants to see LeBron in the championship again? You want to see new faces. So I get it. But is Tampa a sexy team? They're not a sexy team. The Eagles are a sexy team. Minnesota's a sexy team when they want to be. Is Dallas a sexy team? No, you want sexy teams in the Super Bowl. That's what you want. Storyline, sexy and storylines. That's what you want. The Eagles are sexy. Kansas City sexy? Yeah. The Bills? I think the Bills are a little more sexy than Kansas City. The Ravens are sexy with Lamar. They're hella sexy. But there's no Lamar. San Fran sexy? Yeah, San Fran's sexy. I'm forgetting San Fran. I'm thinking they're going to get beat by Seattle. You have a San Fran Buffalo Super Bowl. Did Buffalo and San Fran ever play each other in a Super Bowl? No, Buffalo got beat by Dallas twice, right? By Dallas? By Washington. They got beat by Washington. They got beat by the Giants. And then Dallas twice? Or Giants twice. I think it's Dallas twice. Yeah, I think they played Dallas twice and lost. You see all this stuff about Lamar going to different teams. Adam Schefter breaking. Jets are ready to offer Lamar Jackson a blockbuster trade. That's going to be the whole storyline. It's not the playoffs starting right now. Reporters love talking about this stuff, about players on other teams. They love showing pictures of players in other uniforms. I mean, I love it too. We all love it. They get off on it. They got the picture of Lamar in the Detroit uniform, a Raiders uniform. What one does he look sexy in? That's what they're looking for. What uniform does he look good in, okay? I mean, the Ravens is awesome. The Carolina one's not that good. The Lions, does he look sexy in a Lions uniform? The Raiders? He went to Louisville. He was red. It was red. The Ravens is still the best. He looks good in a Miami uniform. The Jet uniform, that green, I don't know. I like the Jets with their black uniforms. Those are sexy. Is Lamar a Raider? You think he's a Raider? He needs to stay in Baltimore. They just signed the dude. Lamar put out a message to his fans saying he can't give 100%. I mean, I would still take Lamar 85%, 70% over Huntley, but the story of Lamar being out is bigger than this playoff game, I swear to God. It seems that way. Alright, so going back to sexiness. San Fran. You want to see San Fran versus Kansas City again? I don't. San Fran, Buffalo, sexy. Those are two sexy teams. Buffalo, San Diego. I love the old school throwback Charger jerseys. That baby bluish color. It's good that Lamar went out and spoke, because there's nothing coming out of his camp. I mean, him and his mom are his camp, but it's about time he came out and said something. Oh, man. I'm still holding on that he's going to play next week if they win. That's going to look bad for him if they win in his contract. They could pull out a win with Huntley, man. Whoop. I mean, he's going to get paid, but man, if they win with Huntley this week, the Thunder won tonight. The Thunder played the Bulls. Thunder on fire right now, dude. The Jazz are up against the Magic. The Kings are up on the Rockets. The Knicks pulled out a win tonight. The Knicks played the Wizards. It came down to the end. Pelicans beat the Pistons. How are the Bulls, man? I know DeMar was out tonight, but the Suns lost. That's good for the Lakers. The Suns lost. Let's see the standings. Western Conference standings. Yeah, the Suns are 21 and 22 now. The Lakers are 19. The Lakers blew that game against the Mavericks last night, man. They had it until the end. And then you put, I think they had Schroeder on Luka for the 3-point to tie the game. Yeah, that's good defense there. Real smart. You should have LeBron on him, man. LeBron on Luka. Lakers up by 3. That's a win they had to have. They would have been 20 and 22, dude. They would have been tied with the Timberwolves right now. The Timberwolves are going to win tonight. So the Lakers are 13th right now, 19 and 23, 9.5 games out of first. But I'm really looking at the 10, 9, 8, 7. I mean, they're only 2 games behind the Warriors for 7. That's not bad. But they can't go on these winning streaks and LeBron takes a break, dude. That's killing them. It's almost like a definite loss when LeBron sits. So the Suns are almost 500. The Jazz are starting to slide. The Jazz are 21 and 23. Trailblazers 22. The Kings are 22 and 18. They're surprised this year. But surprised for the Suns to be the Lakers move all the way up. The Thunder are better than the Lakers right now, dude. What is going on? Then you got the East, got the Celtics, the Nets, the Bucks, the Cavs, the Sixers, Knicks, Pacers, Heat. Rounds up the top 8. The Bulls are a disappointment. Atlanta's 20-22. They're kind of a disappointment. The Hornets, 11 and 32. Unbelievable. The Cavs, man. The Cavs are a sleeper team this year. When they're fully healthy, I'm going to go on a limb and say Cavs-Memphis championship. Look at the odds of those 2 teams against each other. Cavs and Memphis. Cavs versus Memphis. We're going back to football. Tomorrow, okay, so just straight up, no lines. Who's going to win the game? I would say San Francisco and the Chargers. Those are the 2 for tomorrow. Just on the field, no point spread. San Fran wins the game. Chargers win the game. And then I'm going to go Ravens because I have to. I'm biased for my son. So say Ravens. I'm going to say Dallas. Dallas has to win that game. They can't lose. And there's a storyline. Tampa Bay, Brady loses. Boom, they'll talk about Brady going to Miami next year. For the rest of the year, that's all they'll talk about. Lamar and Brady. That's what they'll talk about. So Dallas wins. Minnesota wins. Chargers win. Buffalo wins. So then you'll have San Fran versus Minnesota. Dallas versus Philly. Those are good teams right there. Philly, Dallas, San Fran, Minnesota. That's a good game, San Fran, Minnesota. That's sexy. San Fran versus Dallas, NFC Championship game. A throwback. San Fran, Philly. I don't think Brock Purdy's ready, man. He might be. But I can see that being the story after the game. I mean, tomorrow's going to say a lot. See how he deals with pressure, I guess. So say NFC Championship, San Fran, Philly. It's going to be either Kansas City, Buffalo, or Cincy, man. I mean, Buffalo versus the 49ers. That'd be a good Super Bowl. I would like that. Buffalo 49ers. Or I'd like to see Minnesota finally win a Super Bowl. Minnesota, Kansas City, Super Bowl. That'd be a good Super Bowl. Alright, so tomorrow, San Fran on the field. Chargers beat the Prince who was promised. Anything else? That is it for tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright? Have a good night.